Hello, it's Sonia here from The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel, and today is another update video. We are in another new month. It is now July, so I'm going to update you on how I did on my June bin. I'm working on my 2020 Bust My Stash challenge, where I'm trying to de-stash my huge amounts of yarn that I have. I have so much yarn and I'm trying to work through it, use up what I can, make new patterns, just really trying to thin it out so that I'm not, just overwhelmed with all of this yarn. So I actually haven't been buying any yarn. I did have some yarn gifted to me a month ago, which you saw in the previous video, but I have not bought any yarn, which is kind of easy right now because we're still kind of in quarantine. They're lifting some restrictions, but we're just still trying to stay home as much as we can. So anyway, I will show you the June bin and I will introduce to you the July bin. And as always, I say this every time, I feel like I haven't made any progress, but I actually have made some things. I will show you what I've been working on so you can see that I actually am making things. There's just so much. And as it's taking me years to accumulate this yarn, it will take me years to slowly thin it out. So I have to, remind myself of that. Rome wasn't built in a day. You have to, start somewhere and just keep plugging away. And eventually, the yarn situation will calm down and not be so intense with the amount that I have. So anyway, yeah, that's what's been going on. And I will show you some of the projects that I have finished and things that I am working on right now. Okay, so I am actually working on 2 blankets right now, and I did complete a 3rd blanket. It was a baby gift. I had a family member that had a baby girl in March, and now I've been able to see her a couple times, which has been great. And I gave her the blanket. So I don't have the blanket. I will post a picture of it. I'm sorry, the picture is not that great. I really was on a time crunch when I was making this blanket. And I took a picture of it using my phone, which my phone is really old and it takes horrible pictures. So I apologize, the quality is just not there. But, you can see the picture of the blanket. But I am working on a pattern for it. I really was happy with how it turned out. And I just thought, some people might, like a baby blanket pattern. Or you could also use it as a lapgan or just a smaller like throw or whatever. And I am offering, there's going to be 2 different edging options because the one that I made, the original one, has a really girly edging on it. It's, very lacy and, very pretty. But the body of the blanket is a really nice stitch pattern and it would look really great for a boy or somebody that wants something a little bit more simple. So the other edging is going to be just a little bit more of a basic edging. I have a little bit of a flair to it, so it's not going to be completely boring, but it's definitely not as fancy as the lacy one. So I will show you those. Alright, so here we have the one blanket here that this is obviously the fancy edging here, if you can see, and it's like this oatmeal color. I actually had a lot of this yarn. Usually I don't have enough yarn to make a whole blanket, so I was actually pretty pleasantly surprised that I was able to use this, same yarn for the whole entire blanket. So yeah, I don't even know what kind of yarn this is. It's really old, I can tell you that. It's old acrylic, which holds up really well. It's definitely going to need a little bit of a bath because it's been sitting for a while. But yeah, it's just a nice basic oatmeal color, or natural, or a crew. There's so many different colors for or names for that color. But yeah, it's not quite done yet. I have another round to go on this edging. And I actually might make a shawl pattern using this too, because I actually adore this stitch pattern. And I do have this stitch pattern in a playlist. So I have a playlist of stitch patterns basically, and it's stitch pattern number 11. So if you're interested in making something yourself with this stitch pattern, or just want to investigate it and see what it looks like more up close, because on here you probably can't really tell, but it's really pretty. So I think I will make a shawl out of this because, again, I have thread and I always say I'm going to make a thread project, so I've got to make a thread project coming up soon. I did start one and I do need to finish it So I should, finish that and then also do this. So many things going on. But yeah, so this is the one blanket, and this is the version that I made for the new baby. So, and it was this pink Bernat coordinates yarn. So yeah, we have this version. So I have another version of this blanket. So this is the other version. As you can see, I'm actually doing what I call recycling with this blue. Let me see if I can show you. So this was an old project. Actually, it was this old poncho that I had made for like a toddler, and I actually do have this pattern. It's I have a baby. It's a baby poncho that it's actually kind of popular. It was one of my very first patterns, and I thought I'd make a toddler size or maybe like a preschool or whatever, but I decided not to. So I thought I'll take this apart and I will use it for this blanket. So yeah, this is more the boy version, and as you can see, I just have a plain edging. This edging is not done yet. There's another round that I need to work on. I've been having trouble finding enough white because I knew I wouldn't have enough blue, so I thought, well, white will look nice, white and blue, and I didn't have enough white, so I'm kind of cobbling together this edging here, but I found another skein of some random white, and it matches close enough. I think it'll be fine. So this guy will be done soon. So again, the body part here is the same as the oatmeal one, and then the edging is just going to be a little bit more, I guess, classic, if you want to call it that. So, and again, I will have pattern available for this soon. I'm working on video for this pattern, and I'm working on a written pattern. And I'm thinking I might actually have a whole series of blankets named after special kids in my life. So this one is going to be called the Sylvia blanket. So yeah, we have this one. So here we have this scarf again. I have shown it in a different video, and the reason why I'm showing it again is because the written pattern for this is now available. I just published it on Ravelry, and I am going to have it published on Lovecrafts, and I'm thinking I haven't done anything with my Etsy shop in a while, but I thought, you know what, I really, I have one, I should just put the effort into it. Etsy loves to change their policies, so I was kind of like abandoning Etsy for a while because they were just frustrating me, but that's where I got my start on Etsy, so I kind of do have a soft spot for them, even though they drive me crazy with all their policy changes and whatnot. But I thought, I'll start at my Etsy shop again. I think I only have like one thing listed on there, which is, tragic. So I, have a new pattern here. I did have this pattern tested, my lovely testers. I thank you so much if you're watching. I really appreciate all your help in, helping me to get my patterns as error-free as possible. So this pattern, I came up with a weird name. What is the name? Starry Puffy Flower Scarf or something starry, puffy, and flower. Yeah, really rolls off the tongue. I'm not very good at coming up with pattern names. Sometimes I can come up with a really clever name, and then other times it's something kind of goofy like this one. But I'll have this linked below. It's definitely up on Ravelry. I need to get it up on Lovecrafts. Lovecrafts is a really nice site if you do make your own patterns. They're just a little bit, they take a little bit longer to get your patterns up and running. So it's a little bit more of a process than Ravelry. Is pretty streamlined and easy. Even Etsy is easier. I guess if you're ranking them, I'd say Ravelry is the easiest as far as listing your patterns, and then Etsy's probably second, and then Lovecrafts is third. Not that they're bad at all, it's just Lovecrafts. It's just a couple little more hoops you gotta jump through, if that makes sense. So yeah, we have this scarf that is available now in a video, which has been up for a little while, and now the written pattern is up. And I do have a matching hat, and I do need to get that written pattern. I need to get that tested still. I have it all written out. So here is another hat. I forgot to leave in this end. Yeah, I need to get this pattern tested. I try really, really hard when I write my patterns to keep them as error-free as possible. But I'm human, and when you stare at something for a really long time, like your brain automatically corrects it, even though on paper it's wrong, but when you're reading it, it sounds correct. I mean, maybe I'm crazy and that's not a thing, but it happens to me a lot because I'll be like, oh, this pattern is perfect. There's no mistakes, and then but I'm like, oh, I'll get it tested anyway. And then or I'll decide, no, I don't need to have it tested because it's good. I'm good. And then I'll have somebody email me and be like, do you know that is this an error or there's some like stupid typo or whatever? Because, you know, my brain didn't pick it up. So, yeah, so the testing, a second pair or third pair of eyes is really, really helpful. So yeah, here is this hat pattern here, and maybe I'll add some buttons or something like that to jazz this guy up here, or add a little pom-pom. I don't know. We'll see. And I made another hat. I wanted to try something. So here I have this hat pattern yeah, I guess it's not a hat pattern yet. I didn't make a pattern for this. I just wanted to play around with a little square, like it's like a typical little granny type square. And I just kind of wanted to do an insert on the hat. I thought it would be kind of cute. Now this yarn is like really, really stiff. Like it could probably stand up on its own. Yep, see? So I think I might need to kill this sucker a little bit. And killing is just relaxing the yarn. Maybe I'll do a video on killing yarn if anybody is interested. It's nothing gruesome. It's just some yarn. This is acrylic. It can be really, really stiff. And sometimes you want your project to be really, really stiff, but you know, I don't want this hat to kind of look like a brick on somebody's head, so I want it to have a little bit of drape to it, so killing the yarn can kind of help with that, to give it a little bit of drape. You know, it's also like another way of kind of blocking the yarn too, or blocking the project, so it just has, you know, it's a little bit more relaxed. I think it's kind of cute. Probably needs a little pom-pom or something, and I made it in my least favorite stitch, single crochet. I thought that would probably be the best for this. So yeah, it's a basic little square, and I just wanted to see if I could do a little insert in the hat. Okay, so we have Sage. She's back. I think she just lost her little beach bag. I showed this in my previous video, and I have completed this whole little ensemble here, this outfit, where she has the hat. Here is her little tank top here, her little matching pants, and now we have the little sandals here. And there is a bag, so it fell on the floor. She can't hold her bag. So here we have the little beach bag here. See if I can kind of give you the whole full effect. So there we go. So this is Sage, her outfit, and I did get a tremendous response on this. I posted it just on one of my Facebook groups that I belong to, you know, just sharing a finished project, and got a lot of love. So that was really nice. I really appreciate the support. And a lot of requests for the pattern, so it is coming. It's a 5-piece pattern, so it's just taking a little bit of time. I do have a video for this, and I am working on a written pattern because there are some people, they don't like videos. They don't like to, you know, work off a video. They prefer, you know, they're old school. They like a written pattern. I myself, I like a little bit of both. Sometimes, you know, I just want a written pattern, but if something's a little bit more intricate, you know, a video can be really, really helpful. The back of her top, oops, and she dropped her bag again. She's a little bit of a mess. So in the back, I put these cute little flower ties. I mean, I think they're cute. And the bag she keeps dropping. So the bag also, I thought it would be cute to add the little flowers on there. So yeah, this is the whole shebang for her. Oops, I keep dropping that bag. And then we have the little sandals too. So yeah, this should be coming out on video within the next week. All right, so here is the June bin. Probably doesn't look a whole lot different. I think I did use some yarn out of this. I think I did to make that baby blanket, the pink one. I think that was in here. So at least something got used up. But yeah, here we have the June bin. Definitely have a lot more work ahead of me to use some of this up. But I did remember that I had bought this stuff to make a sweater, so I really need to do that. If I have enough skeins, I actually have this knitting pattern that I had bought a while ago that I wanted to try to make a sweater, or make that pattern out of that yarn. It's a cable sweater. And I love me a good cable, and I actually really like doing knitted cables.
I find them to actually be easier than crocheted ones, you know, once you get the hang of it. But I mean, I can do both. So I think, you know, if I have enough of that green yarn, I might try to make a sweater out of it. We shall see. Okay, so here we have the July bin, and I apologize if you hear my air conditioner running in the background. It's quite hot today, so it's been running quite a bit today, and we're in the basement, so you can really hear it in there. But I am really thankful for AC, I'll tell you, especially on these hot days. But here we have the July bin, so let's take a look. I found something interesting that someone had given me. I think they did, or I didn't buy this. So it's a, I guess it's almost like wax. Like, I don't even quite know what it is. Or like a Play-Doh type thing, and then you mold it onto your hook. And it says, when heated, molds to fit your fingers, reduces hand cramps, allows you to crochet comfortably for hours, increases grip for weakened hands, great for arthritic hands. So I guess you could kind of make your own like clover type hook out of your straight hooks. I prefer a straight hook. I have some clovers and they're very nice hooks. I don't want to say that they're not. They really are. But I, just for myself, I prefer a straighter hook. But maybe, you know, maybe I'll, you know, see what this stuff is like. And let's see, we have some great Red Heart yarn. Traditional, I don't know if they make this colorway anymore. This is probably pretty old, but you know, the classic acrylic. I also found some old Simply Soft yarn. And yeah, they don't make the skeins this big anymore. Just like anything, everything, like ice cream. You know, ice cream is shrinking, except they still charge you the same or more. I feel like it's like that with some yarn too. Like this Simply Soft, the skeins of this when you buy it now are a lot smaller. Still very nice yarn. And I had more of this and I made a hat out of it and it was really pretty. It's actually a really pretty colorway when it's stitched up. And let's see. Oh yes, there's some beads in here. I was going to, I think I wanted to make like a thread scarf and stitch some, or add some beads to it. I'm not really into the whole beading thing on my crochet, but I thought I might try it. I don't know. And this is a really exciting find. I don't know if, in a previous video I had wanted to sew some buttons on and I could not find sewing needles. So ta-da! Sewing needles, so you never know what you're going to find. I'm going to be taking this with me right now because I've got some hats that I wanted to sew buttons on. And what else do we have? Some thread, like I need to do some thread projects. Oh, and I have a ton of this thread. Someone gave me, I think they belonged to like a club. They're like a family member and they passed away. And they gave me like so much of this. I've actually made quite a few projects with it, and some of it was really dirty, but it washed up beautifully. It's pretty old. I think it's size 30, so it's pretty fine thread, but I don't mind working with that. And then we have some, this is like a weird springy, like it feels like kind of springy on it yarn. Feels nice though. And we have, oh, this is some weird like corded stuff that I think it was kind of popular a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, I gotta buy some. Not sure what I'm going to, maybe I can make a little bag out of it. And what else? We got multicolored blue. So yeah, here we go with the July bin. Not sure. Maybe I'll try to make a thread project out of this. I keep talking about my thread projects. I really do work in thread, I promise. So this is the July bin. I hope you're all doing well, and I thank you so much for watching.
What? No? Well, I just talked to her like 2 seconds ago. Okay. So anyway, I will show you the June bin, and I will introduce to you. Yeah. So here I have this hat pattern that, yeah, I guess it's not a hat pattern yet. I didn't make a pattern for this. I just, what? Yeah, it's okay. Nail cane. I'm so sorry. I'm not